So Gary Watts' open match today on Windmill Pool. I've drawn peg 29, which is not my first choice of pegs, to be honest with you, but I have got a bit of the room. Next peg to me to my right is peg 34, and then I got parts on peg 26. So, you know, and the ripples blow into my end of the lake, so therefore you'd like to think you're going to get a few bites. So I'm going to start short down the edge, hopefully catch some monsters because there is a few big ones in here, and then it's probably the best part of 8 foot long, like 40 metres on the deck, and I just don't think anything's going to feed on the bottom. I've set up one rig, and then I've got a couple of mong rigs, overshotted rigs. So yeah, I've got the mong rigs with just a piece of line, no float, because you're allowed to do that here. And then I got a jigger, a slapping float, and then a flick rig. I'm going to start feeding by pellets, but I've got a few pints of casters with me today, so just in case it does fish really hard and that wind does ease, then I might swap to casters. But with the wind the way it is at the moment, I'm going to be feeding pellets because I think I'm going to struggle to feed casters at any sort of length, so I don't want to blast them everywhere. So I think, if I fish casters, I'm probably going to feed them 12-30 metres. If I go any further than that, they're going to start spreading everywhere. So paste just seafood, so Hinder's seafood paste, and just again seafood pellets. So I've got 0.2 gram Maver paste float, 0.18 straight through, so no messing around, to a 2.5 hollow, which is quite soft to be honest. So about 6 minutes into the match, just beginning to think it ain't going to happen, and happy days into fish. Only a stocking, but in the meantime I've been loose feeding 4 mil pellets. Again, just seafood pellets, which is just a carp pellet in seafood oil. So stocky about maybe 10 ounce. And to be honest, this lasted a bit longer than I anticipated, but I didn't catch any carp. Actually, I only caught one 10-ounce carp all match. Carp, I just couldn't catch any, which was quite surprising to be honest. But I guess that time of year they got other things on their mind. And with the rippling stuff, the way it was, I didn't see any cruises at all. To be fair, I think you'd struggle to see them anyway. Even if you had like super duper polarised glasses, I don't think you'd be able to see them still. So good little weight builders, and this is just going to give me time to build up my shallow line, because you don't want to go straight out shallow, hitting it with pellets and then catching a few. They might just back off. You've got a few fish topping. Parts next to me is fishing a bag and waggler. He's had a couple on it, but I'm still happy getting a few bites, umming and ahhing about, going out long. Got 2 Neils opposite me, both of them catching ish shallow, but I feel like at the moment I'm keeping up with both of them, and I feel like if I leave this shallow line as long as possible and build it up, hopefully it's going to be a lot stronger. Well, that's the plan anyway. So you can see these stockers are fighting pretty hard. Fighting fit fish. So I haven't fed a great deal of bait down the edge at all. So as you see at the beginning of the video, I even counted it, I probably had about, I don't know, a palm of pellets. So I had next to nothing really. And then all I'm doing then is just putting a good pinch of micros on top of the paste. So I'm almost like starving them on the hook. To be fair, because you've got such a big feature, this tree, you know the fish just want to be there, so therefore don't really need to feed loads of bait. Getting a few like little knocks and stuff, so there's definitely some small fish around. Did catch a couple of skimmers on paste, but generally speaking, you know, I got left alone by roach. I felt if I fished pellets, I might have problems with foul looking and that sort of depth of water as well. It's pretty deep down that edge. It's good 4 foot. You don't want to fall in. Fishing pellets or anything like that, you're probably going to have a nightmare foul looking. Meat might have been a good shout, but I do like fishing my paste. So the short line died as expected. I didn't catch anything at 5 meters neither. I didn't see the point of showing you on the video, just me sat there not getting any bites. So this is my first pit in on the Mong rig, which is just a length of line, no float. Some anglers fish like overshotted floats and tap in. It's just, you might as well just fish a piece of line if you're allowed. Not the best of starts on this. I thought this would go straight away. especially with both Neils opposite catching. Not like bagging, but catching steady. So just fishing a light elastic, a 2mm hollow, 018 mainline, and just still fishing hook length. Just fished 012, an 18 hook and just a band. So it gives me the flexibility of putting a 6mm or a 4mm, or potentially putting a banded dead maggot or even a piece of worm. This is actually a roach. So I had a few different mong rigs, just basically length of line. I had one about 18 inch, and then one probably about 2.5 foot. And to be honest with you, I just swapped between the two. When they were there, they just had it. But when they weren't there, it didn't matter what length of line. Sometimes you can chase them up and down, even with the jigger. So it's really funny. They're a little bit skittish, to be honest. Looking at that, it's probably more than 2.5 foot. It's probably almost 3 foot. You see it by the bush though, it's quite windy. Hence my camera keeps going in and out of focus on me, a bit of focus breathing. So Neil McKinnon's catching on the mong as well, and then Neil Smith has converted his, I think his cast approach to even start tapping as well, because he's catching a lot of small fish. I think the silverfish have obviously finished spawning now and they're quite ravenous. Gets on feeding short as well. A lot of small fish, so I had plenty of bites. as the long line sort of faded, you had to give it a rest. So I've been feeding like the odd ball of micro down the edge, like 4 meters, and then I catch a few fish there, just sort of like resting it. Just a bit disappointed really that didn't catch any like real big fish, because I know this lake's full of big fish. But again, I suppose just a bit of a funny time of year. So just caught stockers really. So I was hoping to catch a great big one right at the daff, but I caught a bream instead. It's not a bad sized fish, wouldn't mind catching these every chuck. Do a hell of a weight. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. I ended up with £77, which won the section. If you pause it now, you can see all the weights. George Organ won it with 135, Tom Need £95, Neil McKinnon 90, and Chris Cameron 89. Catch you soon, take care, bye.